Welcome back to Let's Not Sugarcoat It. Season 3 is here and we're excited to dive into the core of communication, relationships, and leadership.
We're your hosts, Bella and Lee, a husband and wife duo with a successful business helping couples and organizations get it together to play a bigger game and elevate their relationships and performance.
We believe in keeping it real, so each week we'll bring you incredible guests, entrepreneurs sharing their authentic experiences, along with episodes featuring just the two of us tackling the tough topics.
So, if you're ready to enhance your connections and sharpen your leadership skills, you're in the right place. Let's get started.
Okay, welcome back to another episode of Let's Not Sugarcoat It. Today we have Danica and Carson Dutt in the house. Super excited. We've had Danica on before.
Yes, that's right.
And so you're returning guest, but now you brought your second half because we're talking about communication and relationships. So super excited to have you guys in. Let me tell you a little bit about them. So Carson and Danica are a couple living a blessed and fulfilled marriage of 5 years, a beautiful second chance built on faith, intention, and deep respect. Danica is a mom, wife, and associate advisor with Benewealth Strategies. As a wealth advisor, she creates confidence in her clients' financial plans, believing that true freedom comes from having choices. Community has always been at the heart of Danica's work. As she was recently named chair of the charity Dress for Success and past president of Kelowna Women in Business. Now, yes, congrats.
Thank you.
Now entering her 4th term, she is dedicated to build spaces that help others rise. Carson is a proud, hardworking roll-off driver.
Yes, you are.
With over 20 years of experience in the industry. He loves and takes pride in helping to keep the city beautiful and being part of the team that helps build this growing community that shapes the Okanagan's future. Together, Carson and Danica believe that a marriage thrives when both partners serve each other first. Their relationship is grounded in laughter, adventure, and unwavering love, a testament to the power of intention, faith, and connection. So welcome you two.
Thank you.
Super excited to have you in studio.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you for having us. We were talking on the way here. We're so excited to share what works for us and what we found has connected us, grown our love. And I think more couples need to talk about that. And we need to make that something that people see all the time is marriages can be fulfilling with work.
Yes.
With work.
Definitely takes work. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff out there on why it doesn't work.
Yes.
Right? There's a lot of information out there why anything doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right? But, relationships, because you are with the same person for a big piece of the day for consistent days on end. There's a lot of important decisions, right, that are made. And it's one of these things where it's like you are with the one person that because you spend so much time with them, they learn all your triggers.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And
The buttons. Oh, there's a lot. It's like the elevator. Sometimes you just want to go down all the buttons and press them all and have it explode and stop on
and then it becomes like the drop of doom, right?
Yeah.
At Adventureland.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did take me on that.
I want to thank you for doing this for couples, across the nation, North America, wherever, we are. I want to thank you. So it brings everyone together. So thank you.
No, thank you. Because I feel like we don't talk. There's a lot of, like we said before, information about what to do, how to leave a marriage, when to, how to rebuild after divorce. But there isn't a lot of how to prevent it from happening. Why don't we start earlier the communication and where the breakdowns are to really save the marriage, save the relationship, because something brought you together in the first place. When you actually go back and reflect of why the two came together, there's something there.
Yeah.
There was something there. And then along the way, we lose it somewhere because most of the time it's our own inner self
for sure.
that needs the work, because we bring stuff from our childhood, our past, into the relationship, and then we look to our partners to fix those problems without our partners knowing where it's all coming from.
They look to you look to your partner to make you feel good about yourself. Yes. Right? And then there always becomes a point in a relationship where at some point that just isn't enough, right? Mm-hmm. Because you are not whole. And then you start to feel not as good about yourself anymore as time goes on. Mm-hmm. And then that gets projected outwards onto the other and you start to blame. Now, granted, there are always, certain relationships that it's for the best, right?
Oh, yeah. So this is our second chance.
Yes.
Right.
So talking about that. And so when I think we both came to this relationship with the goal of just trying to do all the preventative measures and be the best wife, be the best husband, because this was our who gets a second chance at true love? Yeah. Like, we feel so blessed because there's stories of people who go through divorce and, it's not like our fairy tale story of finding our soulmate on the other side. So we treat this marriage, like you're saying, as we are going to do all of the work and all of the things we want. So I can say part of, our theory in marriage, and it was through classes. So we seek classes. We go, to different workshops. And one was about serving first each other. So like when I wake up out of bed, I think, how can I make Carson's day the best day? But there's another side to that because he's also waking up and saying, how can I make sure Danica lives her best day? And it's very simple. It's even so at 4 a.m. we get up. The first thing he does is, I'm going to go make you tea. Yeah. I say, thank you, honey. When I hear the tea starting to pour, I get up and I make his lunch. And so at 4:30 a.m. we're acting for each other. Yeah. And I think that was really shifting when we learned about that base in your marriage, because I think there's a lot of education on, what I need. Yeah. And I will say it takes two, because if you're the one serving and it's not being reciprocated, that's where it can fall apart. But when we're both at that attitude of, what can I do for him? And he's reciprocating, it can be something beautiful. Yeah.
I think an important part there you touched on is having the conversation around what it is that the other person needs.
Yes.
So if it's just Carson deciding, I'm going to make her tea, but that's not really what you need, or you're just choosing to make him lunch, but he's like, right?
Okay, you hit the nail on the head there. So my love language is acts of service. So you're right in that a person could spend 20 years doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. And then hold resentment when the other person isn't showing appreciation for all the things you're doing, because...
It's my biggest thing is I like to, I consider myself like a fix-it person, right? So there's been numerous times in our relationship where she'll tell me something that's going on, and either she just wants me to listen, but in my mind, I want to fix the problem and take care of it. So I'm sitting there going, okay, well, in my brain, she's telling me everything that's going on. I'm going, okay, how can I fix this? Yeah. I need to fix this because my wife's obviously upset. This is bothering her. I need to fix it. And it comes, so I start to think of how I can fix it. And I start talking to her how I'll do this and I'll do that. I'll do this. And it turns out, well, no, I just want you to listen. I don't want you to fix it. Yeah. I just want you to listen. And for me, that's I honestly sometimes find that difficult, because that's, I like to, if something's wrong, I like to fix it and take care of it. And now that's done. Move on to the next one, right? Yeah. And when it's hard to just listen and not fix the problem, but just be there to listen, it's hard for, well, maybe just me or men in general.
Do you think it's a general with men and women in your work?
Yeah, 1,000%. Because men aren't usually going to be sharing their problems unless they're looking for help to fix it.
Okay. Exactly.
Right? And so if we're dealing with something that we don't feel needs fixing,
why would you share it?
We just keep it in the jar.
Right.
Yeah. Right? Just,
or want to do it and fix it yourself.
That's right.
Because there's maybe shame or something around. Because if I share this with my partner, they may think I am less than because I don't want to show
This is a good point.
is weakness, right? So
yeah.
that is also like part of that conversation that we've been having in relationships. A lot of men don't want to share because they're seen as the provider, the protector, the fixer.
Yes.
And if they're needing of that, then who are they?
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of that that's tied to, I think, the identity, right, of most men, right, and how we're conditioned. And so it's same. Bella brings something up. Traditionally, it's always been, okay, what do I need to do to like do it? And I've had to learn in those situations to ask the question, what do you need from me? What do you want from me? Or you know, how do you want me to show up right now? Different variations that, you know, we use. Because otherwise, there are times where if she's just expressing how she's feeling about something,
That's
venting.
what it is. It's releasing pressure.
I just want to vent. And then, you know,
I'm trying to be like, well, maybe think of it this way. Or,
and I'm like, dude, I don't want to. I just want to get it off my chest. And then I'll like just get it out.
It's like a valve release.
It is. Having a safe, it is. It's like, I'd rather release it here with you than on somebody else, right? Because, and I don't need the coaching and this and that. Like, there's sometimes, but like that whole fixing thing. Well, what if this? It's like, dude, let me just vent because now you're now annoying me because now you're trying to fix me, but it's still inside me.
Because they're our partner in life, so our safe place to just, like, you're right, this is probably the only place we shouldn't really do that professionally, you know, but we can do it with our partner.
There's usually some type of like container, right? Where it's a safe space. But now the other end of that, we have found that it also can't be one way. So that the man in the relationship, as you know, unnatural as it can feel, you need to be able to be in a place where even though this isn't a situation that I need fixed, but it's something that's on my mind. Maybe it's something that I'm upset about or I'm frustrated about, or you know what, maybe it's a situation that I'm feeling some shame around. I'm going to share it with her because when you don't do that and it's all one way, then your partner is going to create resentment because they're going to feel like they're constantly putting out these bids to connect and you're not reciprocating. Right.
And I think it diffuses situations. So you talked about asking questions, and I think you said I learned. So this is what I've had to learn all of this. It's nothing that I came to the marriage knowing. And curiosity is probably the best skill I have learned over my last 43 years. And it's not a muscle I had. It's not a muscle I even had when we started dating almost, 7 years ago, I guess.
7 years in April.
Yeah. And so I think the question, so, if I notice, because I can tell, can you tell with his body language, like his face, how he's speaking? So can you tell right away?
Right away that something is off, what's happening?
I'm the same way. There's numerous times where I'll like, I'll say to Danica, what's wrong? And she'll be like, oh, nothing. And I know darn well there's something wrong, but she just doesn't want to tell me. And and I've learned that, sometimes not to push, because if I want, because again, fix it. I'm like, she'll say nothing wrong, and I'm the one, okay, there is something wrong, right? And so then I'll push and push and push to the point where she finally tells me whatever it was, right? But that's not what she didn't want to tell me. Yeah. Right?
I think it's not that she didn't want to tell you. I think she just didn't want to tell you at that particular moment, because when you're in it, and you're processing,
you're correct on that one.
So because that happens too. He asked me, and let's say I'm triggered by something. So then I'm exploring. Is it actually about him? Is it about something else that happened previously and whatnot? Right. So I'm trying to work through and figure out so that I'm not coming with a problem or a situation or something that actually has nothing to do with him.
Not that every trigger is about me.
More so than not, but no,
that's a whole other podcast.
Right, 100%. But
you're right. And sometimes in our professional lives, we need to hold it together. So because he's my safe person, when he taps into that for me, the floodgates start. So tears are how I release.
Yeah.
Like
I think most women do. That's how we
tears
process
can
our
be
emotions.
happiness, sadness, frustration, anger, all of them. I had one gentleman ask me, like, tears for all of those emotions? I'm like, yeah, tears for all of those different emotions.
There's happy tears, there's sad tears,
yes.
there's
oh my
angry
gosh.
tears, there's so many different,
And so when you said the moment, sometimes that's true. So sometimes I just need to keep it together for this set of time. And then you know, later that night, maybe I can.
Yeah. And that's what I think.
Yeah, that's how we complement each other. Just, you know, both of us together, like, I think we make the perfect team. I've never experienced a friendship like this, a love like this, a relationship like this. And like, it's a, you know, like, I know we've only been married 5 years, but my love for her has grown so much stronger every year. It's not like it's going down; it's going up, right? And like, I love the fact that she's my best friend, and she's my lover. She's like everything. And like when Danica says, you know, I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do, I think about her. The first thing I do, and she's the last person I think about when I go to bed. And when I'm not with her, and I say she's at an event or out doing something, I go, I miss her. It's like a part of me's gone. Yeah. Right. And I really cherish it because, like, I never thought I'd get married again. Like I thought, like, when I went through my divorce, I thought I'm never going to get married again, and it's not going to happen. And
we said that on the first date to each other.
Yeah.
We said, by the way.
Yeah.
We're never getting married.
We both said
ever
that.
again. You understand?
Yeah. I know.
And now you guys
I'm my own.
It's just Danica has so much respect for me and love for me. It's something that I've never felt before, and to have that just makes me just want to just give to her so much.
Do you think it's because the way you guys communicate with each other has changed as well from previous relationships to this one?
So we talk about when we're dating. Yeah. Okay, so we both. So, and I think it can be the same in a 20-year. Congratulations, by the way. So 20 years.
17 married, 20 together.
Yes, congratulations. Thank you. Because that is an accomplishment. I think it can be the same. So you come together, not whole people. Baggage, triggers, you know, things like that. So we have come a far way. So I can speak to myself. I came to the relationship with a lot of triggers. And I have a strong faith. I think that Carson was brought to me for a definite reason. You know, he helped to heal me, and I had to do the work, but he was a very soft, caring place to land. So because he loved me and was safe and caring, when my trigger came about, I was able to present my assertiveness, and it was able to come out in a big way, and I was able to now set that new boundary in my life. And he just took it.
No, but you showed the love back too. It's not like you just like. It's not like It's.
We were wanting to grow, and I think growing together. So I think the one thing when I met Carson was he wants to grow with me. And I look at the Pico Institute, and I look at the workshops you guys are doing, and I think if a husband and wife want to grow together, I think that is going to predict a successful, long relationship. I think it's when one person wants to grow and the other is not interested. I think that's when trouble happens, because we can learn. You know, and he offered me the space to go, whoa, what was that? And then, you know, now I don't have those triggers anymore, but I got to work it out in the presence of a really loving, safe person. So if we go back like 7 years ago, there was those moments that happened, and you were just very, I guess, that's the word, grace. So we actually did a marriage class this morning, and it said, what do you appreciate about your marriage? And so I think it's these daily activities intentionally, like even coming here, we get to talk about our marriage, or going to a class. it sets a time and an activity that you get to talk about your marriage, celebrate it, discuss it, learn about what you have to work on, and not everyday life provides those moments.
Yeah.
So I was thankful for the grace. Like I like grace for days. Grace like every day, grace. And on the way here, he said he was thankful for the love and support. So yeah, I think grace in a marriage for me is huge. And
respect for one another. That's one thing that we, like Danica respects me, I respect her. There's no this person's the breadwinner, that person's the that one, this is the one who wears the pants out. It's equal.
Well, it's a team.
Danica said that in her wedding, when we got married, in her wedding vows. Before us, she wasn't used to the word team. And I told her right from the beginning we were a team. And so that, I remember you saying...
So it's so funny. So Carson was excited to get into the self-development and learning. You so naturally came not knowing what he was doing, but he had to do a lot of repetition. I think it would take about 12 months. And he had to say things like, we're a team. You're beautiful. You're a good mother. Like, you probably had to repeat for about 12 months.
Oh, I did that all the time.
And now I'm like, I'm beautiful. I am the best. Like, now, he's created a bit of a monster. But, it was repetition. It was repetition.
You do the same to me, though. Like, you do. Yeah. Because how many times have I told, like, when we first started, that I felt worthless, that I felt like I wasn't a good, like, I wasn't a good father, like, I wasn't a good person, right? And you built me up. So, like,
God brought us together, I think. It's not a mistake. Yeah. It's not a mistake.
I love that you guys are saying the word team, because we've all, like, what we teach the couples and in our workshop is, you guys, when you come to a situation, let's say there's conflict, when you come with that knowledge or that word team, knowing that you're playing to win together, that you're not on opposite teams, that you're not playing against each other, that's when you start winning together and looking at the problem and being, like you say, always be hard on the problem, not the person.
It's like, I like that.
Soft on the person.
Say it again.
Yeah. Hard on the problem, soft on the person.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Right?
Yeah.
So when you come in and you're like, okay, this is the problem, this is our tension, how do we work it so that we're both winning? Because a lot of conversation go, I'm winning, you're losing. And that's not a team. That's not a marriage. That's not a relationship.
No,
Why would you want your partner to lose?
Yeah.
Right? We want to come to an agreement so both of us feel seen and heard and like we are on the same team, playing on the same court for the same vision, mission, whatever, right? The collective.
That's one thing about it. We've always been open about our relationship, or we've been honest about our relationship. So, like, if something's bugging me or if something's bugging Danica, I'll just tell her straight out, like, hey, this is bothering me, or that's why. I don't hold it in and resent for years and years and years. I've always been an open book that way. Sometimes it's not good necessarily, but it's sometimes in a relationship like ours, it is good, right? And Danica's the same way. Right? Sometimes talking is just not even necessary.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just holding each other.
Oh, you just did a reel on that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Come home from your day, instead of complaining and upset about the day and bitching about this and complaining about that, just come in and just hug each other.
Yeah.
Because I've noticed myself, when I come home and say I've had a bad day, or if Danica's had a rough day, we just hug each other and it just melts away.
The Disney rule.
Yeah.
You heard about that?
No.
So, I mean, I haven't fact checked this, but what I've heard is that the rule at Disney is those that are dressed up as the characters, is that when they're hugging a child,
the child comes to hug
them. The Disney rule is that they're not allowed to be the first ones to let go.
The child has to choose when to let go, so that they don't feel like there's a limited time. So if that child needs a longer hug, they're there to stay until that child feels like they've been seen and or like that feeling.
Because there is like a science, like a psychology to the duration of a hug, right? And I can't remember
a kiss too.
Right. There's like an amount of seconds, and once you cross over, like I think for a hug it might be like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
And so you can feel it once you get beyond that 20 seconds. Try to count it, and you'll your nervous system starts to come down, right? You feel a bit more relaxed, where we're always caught up in our state of human doingness. We forget about the fact that we're human beings and we don't live in the moment. So it's like, okay, hug. Okay, right? What's next?
Yeah.
We're constantly moving into the next moment versus just embracing.
Our children actually started doing that when there's tension in the house, and let's say I'm upset with one of the twins, the other one she started coming and she's like, okay, mommy. And then she's like, stand up, and I'll stand up and she'll give me a hug. And it totally disarms.
It does.
And you can feel it. So we're doing that with our kids to give them that tool that even when your wife is raging, all she needs is a hug. Sometimes do not walk away. Lean into the discomfort, because sometimes it's not even about you. It's about something that happened. And when you give her that safe space, she will learn that you are not there to add to the problem, but be that safe landing.
I agree. So before we were married and we lived apart, arguments could go crazy when we were in separate houses. But the minute, so I think he even just started coming over, because the minute his presence was in my presence and he hugged me, the fight was done.
Yeah.
So I agree in that if we're hugging, we can't fight. But if you put space, it's like very interesting.
Like when we go to bed, we cuddle most of the night, right? It's not like, okay, you're on that side, I'm on this side, we don't touch.
Yeah.
Right? I can't sleep that way, right? I have to hold Danica.
Well, we can be. Some people just can't. Some people get so hot, but you know what? I'm happy we can. No, I'm happy we can.
So I know I heard something on a podcast. If you have a king bed, your marriage is not going to last. Right. You need the queen because cuddle. However, so we are cuddlers too. I never used to be, but we became. But when I'm having a hot flash, people, and I'm sweating puddles, do not come near me, right? So it's nice to have the king bed, because then I can roll out of my sweat puddle and into the middle, into his space, and let this side dry. You know what I mean? So get the king bed, and there's room to move around for the perimenopausal state of
king bed will save a marriage.
It goes back to where you place your focus. So if you put your focus on, going back to how we started this conversation around the amount of information that's out there that will support why a marriage or a relationship won't work. Well, if everything is, king bed won't work because, how will it work? Right? It's just a very simple example of, same thing about, we're even talking about like arguments. I used to have a firm belief that conflict in a relationship was not good.
Right, okay.
Right, conflict was bad because what I grew up with was typically bad type of conflict. And so I was like, a healthy relationship means, no arguments, no raised tone, nothing like that. And the reality is that's not true, right? Is that there is a level of conflict that is healthy. And when you are working through a difference of opinion, right, different idea, whatever it might be, it actually gives the relationship depth, right?
For sure.
Where if you're not having those difficult conversations, so let's just exchange conflict now for just like uncomfortable dialogue. If you're not having those and you're not leaning in, then not only you're not learning about each other, you're not learning about yourself even, right? Everything is just staying surface level, and you're in a state of avoiding constantly. Because when you're living with another person, when you're in a relationship, there will always be things that you don't agree on.
And the person you're with is a mirror. to you.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if you're not looking back at yourself and challenging those feelings and how the person made you feel, no, the person just said something and it triggered your response. So now there's an opportunity to look at that and say, why is what they said triggering me? Where is this coming from? What unresolved issues or traumas are within me that this is a trigger for me?
Yes, and I think sharing that is important because there's been a few times where he's not sure why my body language changed all of a sudden or my tone of voice. And being self-aware, I am self-aware now to know where that came from. Yeah. And when I explain to you, I think that came from this event, he's like, I get it. I understand.
And the same thing happens with me too. Right?
Yeah.
I've talked to you about certain things too. So
and I think it's the question. So talk about but also marriage. But when you have children, when you have ex-spouses, when you have all
these moving
partners
parts.
in business,
all
there's
this extra complexity.
There's going to be difficult conversations, and I think it's the learning how to ask questions. So I'll give an example. There was something that happened with one of the children at home, and you were really tense. And this is a few years ago, so you may not remember. And so inside, I have, this comes in a blended family. He has to work with a very protective mother in a blended family situation, and God bless him. And it's not easy role. And so the old Danica, who didn't have that muscle, would have assumptions, would start making stories, why is he so angry? My child's doing their best. Like, what is this? Like, how cruel, blah, blah, blah. But I did this training. And so I walk into the bedroom and I just asked, and this is not even a profound question. I just said, what's going on for you? Like, why do you seem so tense? And the answer was so soft and vulnerable. He wasn't angry or judgmental. He said, I'm really scared because this behavior's happened before. And this is what happened that time that my child did that. So it was actually him not angry. He was not judging my child. He was actually in an anxious moment of, does this mean that's going to happen again? Because this behavior looks really the same. And do you know, my whole mama bear just went, without that question, mama bear could have just roared.
Oh, yeah.
And that comes back to that grace.
Yes.
Right? That when you are in a relationship and you can come from that place of, well, we're in this for a reason. Right?
Yeah.
Like, we didn't come together to make each other lose.
No.
Right.
So let's just start from coming from a place of, we're here to help each other win. And unless you physically, you verbally tell me otherwise, I'm going to believe that that's what's happening. And so it changes how you listen to the person. So if you're even getting direct criticism, it's okay. She's a smart human being. And so if she's giving me some feedback, right? Every single book you read on business, self-development, it's about having a good feedback loop. You need to know what's working, what's not working. And your partner's a part of that feedback loop. And so if it's okay, they're telling me this because they want me to win. But then curiosity steps in, right? You can start asking clarifying questions and things like that, as well as if there is certain conversations that you do find a little triggering, or you've got a story going on, you can come from that place of, we're here to win. We're going to be hard on the problem, soft on the person. I like that. The problem is, I have this story in my head because of this thing that happened. So I'm going to softly bring it up to the person and say, hey, I don't want to deal with this thing that's going on in my head. Right? So when this happened, this is what's been going on in my mind. And then give your partner the opportunity to be like, no, that's totally not.
What are you talking about? Sometimes it's a shock. Sometimes when when we were rebuilding everything, the way we started communicating, like the stories that he would have.
Yes.
But we found out that he's super hypersensitive to tone and body language because of his childhood. So even if it wasn't about him, and I would do a facial expression or quick response, it would trigger him and be like, something is wrong. I'm doing something wrong. She's mad. She's this. I never knew that before.
Yeah.
Never. And that's
I
where
totally hear you. I'm classic for beating myself up for things like that, right? I can go down a rabbit hole and I can make myself feel about that big, no problem, right? Because because your brain plays tricks on you. In actual fact, it's nowhere near what she's thinking, but your brain starts doing something, and then if you keep it to yourself and you bottle it up.
But I like how you presented it to your partner. I have this problem in my head.
Not you made me feel this way.
Yeah.
I've got this narrative.
Yeah.
And I actually just learned so much. So I'm sensitive to tone. So often, I just had a big learning right now. Often I will say, well, you're grumpy today, or you're mad. And he actually, because we love our positive, happy life, and he's like, I'm not, but now I kind of do feel like that. Yeah. So I just learned something. So I can pose that a different way. I can be like, you know what? I have this in my head that when you said that phrase this way, that you're upset, and that totally reverses it.
It does, yeah. Because like with my mom, there's this thing. She's like, "Oh, you're always angry," and I'm like, "Am I always angry? I'm not an angry person."
Yeah.
Sometimes when there's 5 million things, I come home and it's mommy, mommy, and then my mom, Bella, and then he'll be like, I get overwhelmed because there's so much that needs to be taken from me, and I'm like, what are you giving back to me? So it's not that and then maybe I've come from work, something happened, and now I'm being bombarded for attention. So I get frazzled dazzled because there's nobody asks me, hey, where are you at? Well, you do, yes. But I'm talking about like the women in the house, just different, right? Coming into reality, we are in a house full of women who are perimenopausal, preteen, and then there's my mom, So yeah, different culture, different upbringing, different background, different
all
expectations.
Of those factors, right?
And everything falls on me.
Yeah.
But I get to choose how I respond to that. Yeah. Because it was a huge trigger for me when, my mom would say, you're always
And
angry.
I don't think you like it because he said, I'm not angry.
Yeah, I'm not angry.
There have been times where she'll think I'm
angry.
It's
not a pleasant thing to be told you're angry.
No, I'm not angry. And then, well, you sound angry. I'm not angry. But look at the way I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting angry. Because now
it sounds similar.
Right?
Yeah.
So you're persisting that I am angry. And then it's like, and then it just, it snowballs from there sometimes.
So I learned so much just now.
Yeah.
There are times I just come home, like, I'll be honest, I've been a truck driver most of my life. So sometimes my hearing's not that great because I've been driving a truck for a long time. So I talk louder than most people. So when I come into a room and I start talking louder, some people think I'm upset because I'm talking louder. And it's not that I'm upset at all. It's just, this is the way I talk.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't realize it because I'm in a loud truck all day and I'm talking and everything. You get to construction sites, you're yelling to somebody to do this.
Yeah.
And that's
why we have a megaphone now.
I know.
So there's less yelling in here.
So there's a lot of times where people, like not just Danica, but other people too, think I'm upset. And I'm like, I'm nowhere near it.
So I have a question about this. Is there a time, and so when you started bringing up even like intergenerational, right, and all of these things, because that plays a part in, extended family, which is a part of a marriage.
Yeah.
Is there a time when a person can say, that's just them? And there's this like a bit of acceptance. So I've started doing that with certain parts of, different relationships. Because I used to get really elevated, and now I just go, that's them.
Yeah. As long as it's not as long as you're not being put down, disrespected, and so on and so forth.
Correct.
Because then you're allowing that, and you can set the boundaries. You can choose to accept and be like, okay, that's them, but they're still gonna, cross the boundaries.
Right.
Or you can just say, no, I'm not going to be in this situation. And I've done that. I've walked away from family members, even though they're family members. I said, this is now my boundary, and I'm no longer going to accept this energy because I do not have the space and the capacity for it anymore. Disrespect, so it all depends, right? If they're confrontational and they don't want to agree, okay, that's just them. Let's not have this conversation.
Right.
Yeah.
However, if you're being put down, if you're being diminished, that's a little different.
That is different. Yeah.
That's different.
And so we're talking about questions before curiosity, right? Because I do think this, grace plus curiosity combo is very powerful. It's not just about asking questions to the other person. It's asking questions to yourself.
Yeah.
Because if you're getting to that place where you just need to be like, hey, they are who they are.
Yeah.
Leading up to that point, you need to ask yourself some questions around what is it about this person's behavior, family member or not, that makes me feel this way.
Yeah.
So if it's a tone, if it's a body language, if it's certain, whatever it is, like, is it making me feel like, so when I tell myself, they don't like me, right? Or whatever it is, they don't think I'm enough. They don't think that I'm capable. They don't think I'm smart enough. Well, start asking the questions. Are there things about that I actually believe are true to me? Like maybe I have my own limiting beliefs that maybe I think that I'm not good enough, that I'm not capable. And if that's so, doesn't mean that maybe what they're doing is right. But the reality is that if you don't work on becoming whole in those areas, then not just that person, but any other person, right, who is projecting their own limiting beliefs onto you, because usually it's a two-way. If someone is doing or saying things, right, that are not nice,
it's the whole three-back one.
That's right.
Yeah,
they're projecting something. So then you need to. It's an opportunity for you to look in the mirror.
Yeah,
I agree.
And work on yourself.
Before I met Danica, I was very negative, always kind of down in the dumps and just. But her positivity is just infectious. I'm sure you two know that. You're just throwing Danica, right? And it's now made me more positive. I'm not I'm not the negative person I used to be, right? I still have my negative thoughts here and there, but nowhere near to what I used to be. So her positivity has rubbed off onto me, and it's just, and I'm sure there's things that I've done that rubbed off onto her. When we got married, we decided that we're no longer individual people. We're now one. And that's the way we've looked at each other ever since we got married. We're one. We complete each other. And not to use a cheesy line, but she completes me, But it's the
all right,
truth.
Tom.
You did. You used the line.
But it's the truth, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, the idea of, I like if you have the intentions, because I believe in setting the intention. So when you say, if I just trust that he wants us to win, we want us to win, then every interaction is, I really like that. I did some training with Kirsten Siggins. So she does this, how do you operate under stress in emotional intelligence?
Yeah.
So when they are behaving, like, so this could be Carson, could be another family member, and my stress is elevating, then it kind of showed me my indicators of what happens inside of me. Because a lot of struggle I have is in if there's a negative opinion happening or a negative view. And I found out in this training, when I am under stress, I go shoot to positive. So what happens for me is, this is going to work. We are living a wonderful life, and I don't even recognize any of the bad that is going on. But what happens is I don't give people space to talk about how it might not work or what is going wrong. And so that, when you said I need to work on myself, that has been huge in my relationships and how I react to this trigger of negativeness, right? I'm like, this is kind of about me. I'm still going in this journey because I'm just learning this about myself. And leadership is huge. And children, like even my son who has turned 18, will have kind of a complaint about something, and I'll be just ultra positive. Well, you're going to make it. And he's like, Mom, I just need you to hear that this kind of sucked.
Yeah.
So I think it is about digging in, taking like Pico Institute training, classes. You know, that's why I just applaud you guys, because when I do the work inside of me, I'm a better wife. I'm a better mother. I'm a better leader. And yeah, it is about that, isn't it?
Well, that, you know, it may not be true, but that jump to positivity could be your way of like a coping mechanism to avoid the discomfort.
Yes,
right?
It is.
So for me,
100%.
I have become very aware on my humor. Because when there's situations, right, that I'm finding are really uncomfortable, stuff like that, I have a very talented way of introducing humor, right, to try and disarm, which is totally fine, as long as I'm not using it in a way to avoid the situation or avoid the conversation that needs to happen, right? And so because as our language has evolved over the centuries, we have all these different terms for discomfort, right? You know, anxiety and this and that. But at the end of the day, if we boil it all down, that discomfort, when we feel uncomfortable, whatever you want to call it, it's telling us to pay attention to something. Right?
I like
it's
that
telling
reframe.
us to pay attention. And so when we get to a place where we're constantly avoiding, we're creating this tension and this friction within ourselves, because our mind and our body is trying to say, hey, you got to pay attention to this. You know? And we're going, nope. And
I like that reframe. Okay.
Yeah.
And then that discomfort just gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you're forced to deal with it. And usually when you're forced to deal with it, it's a much bigger beast.
Yeah, and then they would have talked about it at the
yeah.
beginning, it would have been something so small and minute, right? No,
That's
I
right.
totally agree with you.
That is truth. Yes.
Yeah.
That is.
Because sometimes, you know, we're scared to say something, fearing some sort of repercussion, whatever. Because we create a story within our minds much bigger than what it actually is going to be. Because I don't know, have you ever like come into a conversation where you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to be the worst thing.
Yes.
I'm just so scared to do it. And then I say it and then it's like, wah, wah, wah. I'm like, really? I literally gave myself anxiety for the last week building up to this. But if I just came out and just leaned into it and dealt with it, but that comes with communication in a safe space with your partner to be able to be like, okay, this is our journey. We need to learn how to be each other's safe space so I can come to you with difficult conversations.
So that's a huge point, because I have to be ready, whatever he's going to say. I have to be ready if I'm going to ask the question that it is not wrong what he says back to me, right? And it's his feeling what's feeling inside, right? And when you said safe space, I'm like, yes, I have to be prepared. What he says is not good or bad. It is his feeling, and I've asked to hear it, which now is diffusing the situation. You know, I can use a great example because I do think this is our strong suit. So I have an ex-husband who is the father to my children, and over prayer and him joining the team of believing that forgiveness and kindness is what makes this world great. We're all friends. But, you know, I had to go into the driveway one day to talk to him about something. I was laughing, whatever. I come in the house and I notice body change. So I ask, is everything okay? And he says, you know what? I'm sorry, but like jealousy is here. And when you're in the driveway and I see you just laughing and giggling with your ex-husband, it's really hard for me. So I
was just honest about it, right?
Which is great because that could build up some resentment.
And I totally understand where that's, you know, like it's just, we are friends and I get along with him quite well. And I'm actually very thankful for that, right? But that was...
When he feels jealous, he tells me.
So
which is important.
And I wanted her to know that, okay, like, hey, I understand we all get along. And don't worry, I totally trust Danica with all my heart and soul, right?
It's a natural
and
feeling.
I know that, you know, but it's just, to see that firsthand, it was just like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
You know, like that's your ex. Why are you laughing and giggling with your ex?
Yeah.
Like, why?
But then it gives your wife the opportunity to shift your belief and shift that narrative that you have in your head about what's actually happening out there.
I don't want her to change.
Yeah.
You know, just like, I don't want her to, the next time that happens, to be outside and like, okay, I better be here. I can't laugh. I can't.
Did you feel better when you got it out?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's the point.
Because I don't want her to think, okay, well, I got to be this way for Jeff, because if I act this way, he's going to get upset, and I don't want my husband upset. So like, I don't want that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to let her know.
It just felt good to say
and it. The beauty of it is this. Then it's up to us.
Yes.
To create this safe space. You could have done it two ways. Yes. You could have attacked, be like, how could you, don't you believe, and made it about you. What, you don't trust me, you don't do this,
Yes.
Or you could have been that person, which you probably were, as we're still sitting here and he's talking about it. That is like, actually, no, baby, I hear you. Yes. There's nothing to worry. And calm that.
Because, I totally understand where you're coming from.
Of course you're jealous.
I totally hear that.
That means you love me.
Yeah.
That must mean you think I'm sexy.
Well, jealousy is one of those terms, right? That more as our languages evolve, that we label that feeling of discomfort.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So I'm feeling uncomfortable about this now. And another way to talk about comfort is a form of fear. So fight, flight, freeze starts to kick in because jealousy is the fear of losing.
Exactly.
Right? Losing someone that you care about.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that's where that jealousy comes in. So you can avoid it by not talking about it, but it's never truly avoided because it just builds. Or this is something I need to pay attention to. Doesn't mean stalking. No. It just means I'm going to have the conversation, right? That's the power of communication, is then asking the questions and then giving her the opportunity to say, probably laugh and go, oh, hell no, right? Like, you were my person, all the
guarantee if roles were reversed, it would feel the same thing would happen, right? Like it just...
But it's about telling each other that this feeling is coming up for me.
Yeah.
And like you say, I have to receive it. And it's also deciding, what hill I'm going to die on.
Yeah.
He lets me soar and fly. I think that's also a thing in marriage. And I don't know if it's with women, but please let us fly. Because if you keep us, I don't know, I read a book once, Women Who Run with Wolves. If you gauge us, we get a little crazy. So Carson lets me fly. And I really get the freedom of fulfilling all of my stuff. There was one thing I did, and he told me before I went, he's like, I'm not really comfortable with you doing that. And I am doing this.
Yeah.
So went and did it, enjoyed it, came home, and body language as well. We'll leave that private, but body language, and he said, I really did not like that you were partaking in that, and I'm really not comfortable with this.
Okay, it took me a while to remember.
He's like, where is she going?
No, I remember what it is now.
And that was the first time that Carson had ever taken such a stance on something. And I could have done two things with that. I could have been, I'm going to do what I want when I want. But in knowing this man just lets me fly and do whatever.
It's happy wife, happy life, right?
Yeah, but you're willing to actually lean into the conversations, into the growth and the development, because as a couple, as human beings, we're always growing.
Yes.
If you're not growing, you're dying. So every 3-5 years, we all go through a massive kind of rebirth. We may not know it, but big shifts. First it's school, marriage, house, kids. We don't notice these changes and how we change as human beings, because we're so distracted with all these milestones based on societal construct. But then when we reach a certain level where all of that is kind of done, we've done it, then you start looking, it's like, oh my gosh, how did we get here? And one person tends to grow faster than the other. And that's when the breakdown starts to happen, because we didn't keep the conversation going for years of like the chaos and the distractions.
Yeah.
Right.
And so in that moment, I decided to, you know what? He gives me so much grace. He's never taken a stance like this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go do that again.
Yeah.
Right? But he had the conversation with me.
Yeah.
Instead of, I go every week.
Yeah.
And he sits at home pissed off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was the conversation. Like, I think it's like core values, right? Like for us, when we first got together, I'm like, I will not be with a man who goes to the strippers.
Yeah.
End of story.
You set that boundary.
I set that boundary.
Yeah.
If that's what you want, if that's what you desire, then go be with someone that lets you do that. And I'm not going to stop you, but you're just not going to be with me.
But you were upfront.
I was upfront, right? Like, I'm sorry, but I don't do that. I don't find that it helps my marriage or my relationship going and looking at the men naked, right?
Yes.
And societally, it's accepted that that's men do that. And I'm just like, for me, I don't. I'm not controlling you. That is just my core value.
So 20 years ago, did you put that boundary?
Yeah.
I celebrate you.
Yeah.
So is this the camera? So that is the one thing I think that also has been the success. So I'm going to talk to the women, because I can only know the lived experience of a woman. Set the boundaries from day one, and you will have the most beautiful relationship. That was something I did not do until I was 35 years old. So I celebrate that you did that.
And these, everything we're talking about right now, we call what so conversations.
What so?
Because when you take away all the meaning making, when you take away the right, wrong, when you take away the agree, disagree, all of that stuff, it's just what so, without any meaning making. So when someone says, you know, I don't like when you go do that, like Bella's saying, I'm setting a boundary, she's not making me wrong for it.
Right. Thank you.
It's just,
you're right.
It's just what so. I'm not stopping you from doing it,
Yeah.
but if you want to be in this relationship, that's not okay with me. That's a boundary. And then it gives me the opportunity to go, okay, you know, what's more important? This relationship or going to the strippers?
See, you just do. So Carson does things just naturally in a compassionate manner. So you're right, because in previous experience of my life, there would have been name calling, accusations. I would have been a bad. You're right.
Yeah.
And you just naturally, I don't know how you just know how to do that, but you do.
I don't know, but you're building me up pretty good here. Keep it going.
Yeah.
You're right, though, because some people make it, you're a bad person if you go do that.
Yeah.
But it's not about that. Yeah.
It's not about them. It's about like you. Like that's the thing.
That's just a boundary I have.
I have this boundary.
That's correct.
I have other boundaries. He has other boundaries.
Yeah.
And I know people are like, oh, that's controlling. Actually, it's not, because he has the choice. I'm not forcing him. He has the choice. This is what I don't like. This is what is not acceptable.
Yeah, for
Take
sure.
it or leave it. I will not be mad. I will not make you wrong. It's just we won't be together.
And you said it from day one.
Yes.
Which, you know what?
Yeah.
That is so great, because you didn't walk into a lie that way.
Yeah.
You know, you knew early on.
Yeah.
This was the boundary.
Yeah.
There was no.
Yeah.
There was no
There's
like.
no
Guess what?
Guessing or
Unless we go together.
Unless we go together in Vegas, yeah, no problem. Then yes, and I'm getting the lap dance. But it is. So there's a caveat. Just because I said it at the beginning doesn't mean I can't change my mind later.
I like that too, Bella.
Right?
We get to change our mind.
You can. And you know, as your relationship grows and our experiences grow, we will do things that feel right or icky, right?
You're right.
So then you should be able to talk to your partner and say, hey, that actually felt a bit ick. And I don't think I'm okay with that anymore. Maybe I was, maybe I didn't notice it, but right now in this stage of my life, it actually feels ick, and I don't like that.
That's a huge point,
right?
And I do like that we have room to change, and we are. I mean, you guys, 20 years, there's going to be change.
Yeah,
oh my gosh,
it doesn't mean that it. I think a lot of the times, again, only can speak from the male perspective, but because we're very much fixers, a lot of the times when something that can be brought up, we almost take it very like finite, as if it is a decision being made, where instead of it just being the starting point of a conversation, a conversation that's just, it's a what so conversation. This thing is now that didn't bother me before is now beginning to bother me. So let's just explore that. Let's just start talking about like why, what does it mean, right? And maybe it's a 20-minute conversation. Maybe it's on the drive to the grocery. Maybe it takes a couple weeks where you keep coming back into your talk before something is decided and acted upon, right? So these what so conversations can be big things about boundaries, right? And exploring what those are or are not. But they can be small things too, going back to the conversation about creating a safe space. That's how you create a safe space. When your partner feels that they can come talk to you about something that happened, right? Maybe it's you made a bad financial decision, right?
Maybe, money is a big conversation in a marriage.
You know, something happened at work, you lost your job, something like that. To be able to come to your partner to talk about those uncomfortable things in a what so environment means you're free from being labeled as you did something wrong or I disagree, right? Again, and that doesn't change that there's some responsibility that needs to happen there, right? Like there's some action. We need to deal with the problem. That's being hard on the problem. But soft on the person is having those what so conversations. We're going to avoid, doesn't mean the labels aren't going to come. We're probably going to, especially at the beginning when you don't have that muscle, you're going to think those things. But when you can create the space between that meaning making and how you actually respond and just go, no, you know what? I'm just going to shelf these filters for now, and I'm just going to show up for my partner, create a safe space for them, not make them wrong. Then that opens up a whole world of possibility for now. Not just where that conversation can go and the deeper connection you can have, but even how you solve the problem. Right?
I think I would almost want to, because I'm going to say I already am walking, say I made a big mistake. I'm going to walk in already shame, beating myself up. That's my personality type.
I think everybody, like when something big happens, instantly you feel less than. Like if you lose a job or you, like you said, financial decision, you crashed the car.
I've done that.
Whatever, right? Like I love I know. My first experience, so just before my first experience of him, very early on, I smooshed a car. Ended up being, like, the whole front was gone, my mirror blew off, and I called him. And I was bracing myself for, like, what the heck, because that was from my previous experience, you know, making me wrong for it. What he did, he came in, the first thing he said, baby, are you okay? It's just a car. To me, that was like, whoa, what's happening right now? Because I was not only feeling, oh my God, the car, I'm so stupid, this and that, now I'm going to deal, he's going to be so mad, and he's going to yell at me, and he showed up, and he's like, it's fine, it's just a car. That was my very first, and he was 21, and I was 25.
Wow. That's awesome. So I think I would, if I messed up, now that you've taught me, so I've learned 2 huge learnings today, but I think I would almost walk in. So if I say this is a what so
conversation,
I'm like already like saying, so this is a what so, and just like top of mind, this is what so, and I think that's a great tool that marriages could use just to take away the blaming,
I mean, when he crashed my car, I didn't make him wrong, because guess what? We're on the same team. And what's so is it can happen to anybody.
We all mess up.
We all mistake.
From day one, we usually try to help each other, right? If there's been a situation where something's happened to either one of us, and we've been together, we don't blame anybody.
And I think it's because, back to the very beginning of this, we come wanting to win this marriage.
Yeah. Because of the reference point of previous relationships.
Yes, and we want to win here, and we know what doesn't work, and we know what works.
Yeah,
right.
And that's the beauty is like when you're coming into a new relationship, you need to work through. Right, because we tend to bring a lot from the past and project onto the new person. So when you think leaving the initial or your first relationship or whatever, yes, fine, go ahead, leave. But I encourage you, before you get into the next one, look in the mirror and see what is your contribution to the situation. Because when marriages fall apart, when boyfriend, girlfriends, like even early on, right? There's always pointing. He was this, not the word narcissist is flowing around. Like, it's so crazy. Not everyone is a narcissist, people. Yeah. Just because your marriage ended doesn't mean they're a narcissist, right? It just didn't work out.
I can say I had zero boundaries.
Yeah.
Absolutely zero.
Yeah. So then that's the thing. It's like looking at yourself.
Well, that's one thing.
And working through that.
I agree. Like, I remember there was a part at the beginning of a relationship. We were, like, everything's so new. You're so happy.
Yeah.
You're and you look at each other. And I remember saying that, man, I wish I didn't go through what I went through. I wish I would have met you first. But then she would say the same thing to me. But then we realized that we wouldn't be the person that we are now if we didn't go through what we did.
Yeah.
So like I truly believe it was God's plan that for us to meet later in life, not when we were both in our 20s.
Yeah.
Because back then we were two different people.
Yeah.
It may not have worked back then.
Yeah.
But to go through and then meet where we did in life, it has changed everything to us to respect each other, to love each other, to be there for each other, because we're two different people.
Unfortunately, a lot of the catalysts for our own growth and development come through something bad happening.
Yeah,
right? That the breakdown has to happen in order for the breakthrough to occur.
Yeah.
And so when you talked earlier about you not being a very positive person, generally speaking, previously, and like now you're like, oh, so much of Danica's wrote. I'm sure it didn't just occur through osmosis.
Yeah.
Just from, proximity helps, right? For sure, right? The people that you surround yourself with. But I'm sure you've had to do some work on those shifts over time to get to where you are. And so the important part of any relationship working is about, we always say, doing the work. Well, what does that mean? It means scaling yourself. If you want to scale your relationships, you got to scale yourself. And both men and women can avoid doing, but more men avoid doing like the work, because it comes across as like, well, it's like the problem is me, right? And so I need to be fixed. Yeah. And the reality is, you can look at it both ways. Like, the problem is you, right?
No, I agree.
And the problem is the other person as well, because we all bring both the best parts of ourselves and the worst to a relationship. And so what makes a relationship amazing, everybody wants to have an amazing relationship, is not finding that person that's fully healed and there's no bad parts of them, right? And it's like, and they're going to make me better, right? No, it's two people that are committed to not just each other, but to yourself on working on those bad parts, right? Or whatever terminology.
100%.
And you can't go looking for someone to fix you. You need to fix yourself. Because if you're constantly looking for a partner who's going to be this for you and this, at some point when they're not, you're going to blame them for making you feel a certain way about yourself, but you've already felt that way about yourself. So you need to start loving yourself. You need to be more kinder. You need to do the work. And again, that mirror, what am I contributing? We always look for, you have the list. This person, I want them to be smart. I want them to be emotionally stable. I want. It's like, okay, great. There's your 20 I wants. Now, mirror that and see, do you have all of those things that you're bringing to the relationship? Or are you just looking for someone to come in and be all of that for you?
That's a good point. That's a very
good
point.
Where the work, that's where the shift happens, where you have relationships that work and thrive, is when you look and say, okay, am I those things for that
Can
person.
am I the best wife I can be?
Yeah.
And by doing the work on myself,
Yeah.
because when I'm happy
Yeah.
with myself,
Yeah.
then I am a better everything. Yes.
And it's having an and conversation with yourself. It's not about constantly looking at like, oh, I suck, I'm not good, I need to constantly work on myself, stuff like that. It's like, okay, here's who I am today. Here are the things of where I'm great. Here are the things that I'm grateful for. And here are the things that I need to work on.
Yeah.
Because that's part of the infinite game, is constantly looking at how we can achieve our potential. And our potential is infinite if we're willing to do the work.
Yeah.
Right?
No, it's with everything in life.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I love the fact that you said the and conversation, because people were asking, well, can you get into a relationship or move forward when you're still healing? Yes, because you can be working on a new relationship and you can be healing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
You can be loving and you can be hurt.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that was the big one for me, for our shift. When we had a breakdown in our marriage, we could have just walked away and that's that. See you later. Auf Wiedersehen. Do widzenia. Goodbye. But we chose to work through it.
It's beautiful.
So yes, I was falling back in love with the new version of my husband, and I still was hurt.
Yeah.
And having that space for both of this made a huge difference, because when you don't create the space for the hurt part, I was lying to myself. I was pretending everything is fine, and I'm like, but I'm still not fine, because and then I'm dealing it by myself. And then it was isolation. I felt alone, lonely. So with some work and counseling, and his and piece, we were able to move forward in a much healthier and a much faster pace of healing for me, because I created space for those moments for myself, and he created space for me to be grieving, and so on and so forth.
And you create space, grace for yourself as well. I constantly think of these things as like, these are the investments, right, that you put into yourself and into your relationship when you were doing things like, whether it's taking classes or going to counseling or things like that. Usually we wait until a point where it's like something is broken and it needs to be fixed. Where it should be thought of as an investment, right, into things, so that resentment doesn't build, right? And when, not if, when things get to a breaking point, doesn't mean it necessarily means it has to break. Sometimes it does. But you are way more equipped to deal with those situations, right? As a couple, right? Where something can break, but it doesn't necessarily have to break you.
So I love it. So one thing I was thinking of, and what we've been talking about a lot, is also surrounding yourself with couples who want to learn and grow and have the most incredible marriage ever. And that marriage can be all the things we work towards and want it to be. And I think, making a narrative and surrounding yourself with couples like that. So at the class that we go to, there's actually, from 75 years old all the way to, I'll say the youngest, probably 40. And it's interesting because you say when. And it is beautiful to surround ourselves with these people who still at 75 are working on their marriage. But it gives me a little light into what breaks a marriage at 75. What breaks a marriage at 60. What breaks a marriage at 40. And when we're all intergenerationally a group of people who just want to pour into our marriages, because it was created to be the most beautiful relationship on this earth. It's to share. And now I know, okay, when I'm 75 and we're both retired, we really have to work at not getting complacent, because there's more time. I'm like already thinking, what tools and resources do we need? So I'm excited to sit here with you today. And Carson and I were really excited to meet you as a couple, because we love surrounding ourselves with couples we can learn from, who think marriage can be beautiful and honest and not sugarcoating it about things that happen.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And we're really grateful that you guys came and shared openly about your wins and struggles, because it all comes down to communication.
Exactly.
How we communicate with each other is whether we're thriving or surviving.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right? And yes, there's moments of survival.
Yeah.
But we want to be thriving. Right.
Yeah.
And it all comes down to that.
Look, I got nothing to hide. Like, this is who I am, this is where I am, and this is what I want, right?
Yeah.
And when we both communicate with each other on that, it just works.
And if you want to fall in love, talk to someone about your marriage and what you love about each other, because you know, now I'm just like, oh, I love, we're gonna go home and
focusing on
feel all the feels.
Yeah, it is. It's like when you shift your focus, it's where you pouring your energy, because when you focus, it's that car analogy, right? Like when you buy a car, then you see it everywhere.
Yes.
Before you never saw it, you buy it, and now it's like, holy cow, why is there so many orange cars around, right? I've never seen one. Right? The same goes with your marriage. If you're constantly looking for what's wrong, that's what you will find. But when you shift your focus and your energy to what is working and having that vision and mission, I always say,
you can focus.
Your goals.
I love you guys go away to do that, don't you?
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
We have our best conversations when we leave the house.
Yeah.
So we did notice we had to, whether that was just going down to Kalatli for a picnic, whether that's a craft brewery.
Hopping on the bike.
Yeah, we have to leave our home to truly connect in these conversations. And I know you guys do that with your goal planning, right?
Yeah. We usually go to a hotel because it's like there's no distractions. Yeah. So you're together. There's no kids, no friends, no cell phones, just us. And then you get to feel the feels of dreaming. So we are going to be putting together a couples retreat. Like one is for the goal settings, and then one, the ultimate couples getaway.
Nice.
But it is about creating that space to start dreaming again. Yes. Right? And not only dreaming together, but what are your dreams for yourself? Because it's so important not to lose yourself and constantly just think about, I'm going to sacrifice. Yeah, I want to sacrifice. And the power of and I still want to feel fulfilled, and I want to be full.
I might not even know. Like, what if we go to your getaway and I find out this beautiful dream he has? Yeah. That I've never, because of the busyness of life, I've never known.
Yeah. And then you can decide what like how then you can support him, right? And achieving that dream, because we have one life.
Yeah. What if you find out that you go to this retreat and you find out there's a dream that you have that you never knew about? Yeah. Because you've been living in the constraints and limitations of a businesswoman, a mom, wife, all these things, right?
But there's also Danica, and that's the beauty of this. We found ourselves and each other by doing this. Aww. Because literally there's two people and we're running like this.
That's a that's a good visual.
Yeah, right? Yes. It's not always like this. It's a dance.
And we just dance with each other. Just hold each other dancing. It's wonderful.
Absolutely. Is there going to be dancing at the getaway?
Of course.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All inclusive.
Ready. Yeah.
I'm in.
Well, thank you guys for coming. Thank you for this beautiful conversation. Love what you guys do and what you're about. I love that Danica is always the one that's always with the megaphone. The husbands are important. And I do agree. We are a unit that support each other so we can both win. So thank you again for coming. Where can people find you?
Okay, if you go on to Instagram, I'm on Mom Wife Money. That is my handle. I'll be excited to connect with you there. And you will see Carson Dutt on Mom Wife Money quite often. Yeah. I would say Facebook, Carson Dutt. Yeah. If you want to reach out, Carson has reached many men. I think, thank you, Lee, for what you're doing. So I'm going to invite any man that watched this and has some questions for Carson or for Lee to reach out and ask those questions. And I think these are two men that would be more than happy to share some answers or insights, or even, hey, maybe a coffee or something like that with you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, well,
Awesome.
till next time.
Till next time.
Bye.
We hope you enjoyed today's episode and gained valuable insights to elevate your life and business.
If you found value in our conversation, spread the love. Share this episode with family and friends, and let's grow this supportive community together.
And don't forget to like and follow us so we can reach more amazing people just like you.
Until next time, remember, let's not sugarcoat it. Keep it real, raw, and unfiltered.